Awesome. Perfect. Well, welcome, Tasso. Welcome, Myron. Very excited to have you here for another client success interview. So we're going to go over, first of all, the stats that you have pulled up right now, but most importantly, the potential that is currently in your pipeline and your big vision, right, for doing all of that. I think it's going to inspire a lot of people in the community, right? So the more value, the more insight you guys can bring, the more valuable it was going to be for everyone here. So first of all, thank you so much again for being here and sharing some golden nuggets, guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate being here with you guys, and great platform to be a part.
Yep. Perfect. So let me go ahead and share my screen quickly over the stats, and then you guys can do a little intro about who you are and a little background about yourself, and we're gonna just go off the flow naturally off of that. Okay.
Awesome.
Good. Perfect. So guys, correct me if I'm wrong there. I took the stats from your CRM. So it's been about what 60 days since you guys started, right? If we look at it, there's 10 recruits that I saw in accepted opportunity, and 4 have actually started. Or Myron, correct me if I'm wrong there. Is there more of the 10 that started, or 4 started?
Yeah, we got one more that just came in yesterday, so that's on board right now. So that's gonna be 5.
Awesome. That's perfect. And almost 10 grand in closed commission. I've noticed also that there's you made a lot of quotes this week as well, Tasso. So that's looking good as well. So that's pretty accurate as well.
Yes, absolutely. Should be having another 2 clients signing up tomorrow, the application. So it should be crossing over 12,000.
Very good. And that's just to remind everyone, that's in 60 days. And that's a very good time to do that, because now we're going to focus on how to actually do that per month, right? So now we did it in 2 months. Now the proof of concept is there. It could be how to do it in 1 month, right? So very good stats to start with. And I think the most impressive stuff is the number of opportunities that's still in your pipeline that you probably haven't talked yet. So a lot of advisors can see that as like a downside. Oh, I didn't talk to those people yet. But I'm sure you guys see it as more potential because you've already closed a lot of business out of that, and you know that there's a lot coming, even if you're not closing them on the spot. Okay. So now, just quickly, guys, make a little intro. I also want you to touch a little bit on the split that you guys have on, because I know there's a lot of duos that come on, and I love how like you split that Tasso, you take care of the insurance, and Myron all about recruiting, and just make a power couple there, power team that's in the system. So yeah, a little intro, your background, where you're at, what was your goal coming into that, and your overall feelings out of that.
Go ahead, Tasso.
All right. I'll start. Well, first of all, I gotta say thank you, Joy and Pavel, for the incredible opportunity. It's truly is a blessing for myself, just so everybody could know, and the ones that are listening, the recording. My previous background was in the restaurant industry, and being in the restaurant industry and jumping into the financial services. For me, it was very like hot and cold, right? Complete opposite, day and night. And make a long story short, got involved in this industry, and like most people do get involved in this industry, the first year, 2 years, it could be a struggle for some, and for some after 2 years, it could be life or death, right? And that determines your what's the next step that you're gonna do? Are you gonna go after your friends and your family, and what happens after, right? And for us, we're lucky that we are in a business model where we could recruit individuals as well as service clients, and we were just looking for something different, looking to get into the exterior, like online world. And with this opportunity with Fondako, it's not just a lead generating system; it's a community, and that's what attracted us big time. This community where there's coaching consistently on a monthly basis, weekly basis, multiple times actually on a weekly basis. And with that, it gives you the proper training on how you can access so many more people out across North America to service them with this incredible opportunity. And with a perfect partnership that we got with Myron and myself, we kind of focus one on recruiting, one on the clients, and we kind of are dividing and conquering that way. So that's a little bit in a nutshell, but I'll let Myron speak on his part as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely. I can't say it better than my brother Tasso there, but he said the crux of everything. We came into this industry because we wanted an advantage of understanding, not only understanding, but also have the advantage of sharing information that most people don't get in their day-to-day lives. And as the world turns, things are becoming more difficult as we all know it. So there's a huge, huge demand for what we do. But knowing that, what this business and industry used to do was more belly to belly, kneecap to kneecap, kitchen table presentations. And the world's changed. Let's be honest, it's definitely changed. Um, Nobody makes phone calls from a rotary phone anymore. It's face to face on Zoom. And as we say, it's Zoom and boom. So now that we know that the industry in itself, communication has changed, you also have to change your approach in a sense of what we do for clients and what we do for agents. And what a better system than there's nothing better than Fondako right now. I mean, we've tried and we've crashed with other lead generating opportunities, and we've heard horror stories and actually had our very own horror story at the same time. But needless to say, we were blessed, and fortunately we didn't let go where most people would have dropped the ball after like failing. And myself and Tasso were just not people who, keep our head in the sand after we get punched in the face. We were looking, and we were blessed enough to find this great partnership between Joey and Pavel. And as Tasso said, it's not a lead generating platform. It's a partnership platform. They're there to coach you. They're there to support you. Their trainings is unpackable, and it becomes a community of where everybody can win. Whereas you're not just hearing about the highlighted stories and wishing you are that person or him or her. You become that person through the system that they have, and follow the system here, because honestly, you have leads coming to you so quickly that it's almost impossible. It's like opening your hands and watching money fall into it. So I'm really blessed and really honored to be a spokesperson here with my brother Tasso. But we couldn't be here if it wasn't Joey and Pavel. That's 100% fact. So I appreciate everything you guys are doing, and we're ready to rock and roll, man. Let's go.
That's good. That's amazing, Myron. I'm very excited to get into that and go over maybe some like on the coaching calls. Of course, there's a lot of success stories, but like there's people that might, it's the first time going with that much volume, and that can also, you can also encounter some issues or some obstacles with that. So I'm excited to go through roadblocks, because I'm sure you had those same roadblocks that maybe some people here are facing right now, and excited to see how you guys can overcome that. And we're going to leave a good 10 to 15 minute chunk at the end of this call for a Q&A. So if ever you guys have questions for Tasso and Myron, like take some notes. These guys use the same system as you guys. They have all the same resources as you guys. So if you want to have and achieve that or even more, then you can definitely get a couple golden nuggets out of that. So I want to touch quickly on what you said about what you were doing before, because I think that's a big issue right now in the industry. It's the barrier to entry to have a marketing agency is pretty easy. We already talked about that off camera, right? So, but it's different. Like you said, I'm happy that you really pointed out that we're not a marketing company, but a partnering company. So on that note, what were you doing exactly in terms of prospecting before that, right? And I know that you have a big team also under you guys. So what are they doing, right? And what got you into this program and into generate your own leads? And what got you to actually make the jump right inside of this and trying this out?
Well, for us, we always built the business very organically, right?
Yep.
So we're all about going through the family, the friends, and then it really we planted our flag so deep that they call us the insurance guys and the investment guys, right? So it goes from family and friends. So we kind of built a brand of ourselves, as I could say it that way, and people trust us, right? And we deliver and we do good analysis with clients, and everything's done professionally, and we get a lot of referrals. But also our model is a type of model where we develop and train other associates, and that allows us to bring in more clients that way. But at one point, you realize that everybody is gonna reach at a point where their contact list is all called, right? and all pretty much done. Some people can have less, some people can have more. What do you do after that, right? And it could happen in 6 months within your you get your license. It could be in a year, 2 years, but eventually within a couple of years, that list should be of your warm market should be done with. What do you do next? Are you going to go knock on doors? Are you going to pick up a phone book and do cold calling? Well, you're going to have to figure out a way to generate leads. So for us, seeing, the online and a lot of people getting into this, we didn't want to miss any wave of that sort, right? So we were just looking and searching, how can we generate more, prospects coming our way? And Fondako was one that we evaluated and made total sense. And so that's how we kind of jumped into that and said, you know what, we're very open, and we're open and coachable to learn this new world of generating more prospects.
Yeah, that's very good. And that's very good. And I want to jump right into now the more strategies and more like value that the agents can. I'm very happy for you guys to throw flowers at us, but I want to make sure that that people here and the agents watching this can extract some value out of that. So I'm gonna go Tasso, because you take care of the insurance, and then also Myron on the recruiting side, and then your overall strategy. But I want to touch on a point that I get a lot, because as I say, often there's 3 steps, right, to master the success in the system. There's first generate a ton of leads very quickly. Then there's turning that volume of leads into sales opportunities, and then turning those sales opportunities into closed deals, right? So what I've noticed is that number 1 and number 3, so generating a lot of volume and then closing them, are pretty easy, right? Because generating the volume, just follow what's in the course and you're good. And now closing them, then a lot of advisors, once you have someone that's interested and ready to buy, I mean, it's not that hard to sign the papers, assign the right product to the person, and go ahead and close the deal. But where the game is played, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, is at the second step. So turning that volume of prospects into paying clients, right? Because I don't know, some advisors think that just because the person fill out a form on Facebook and is going to be ready and pull out their credit card, right, already, and go ahead and choose the product for you. But that's not the case. And oftentimes, if you want to make sure to convert as much as possible, the quality is in the volume, right? So how do you approach that? And why do you think it's the advisors that have issues, that have problems, have those issues? And how do you approach that? And how would you solve that?
Myron, you want to go ahead with that one?
Yeah, I mean, on the side of clients and recruiting, I think it has to be an understanding of, you have to respond quickly. I think one of the things that everybody talks about is the measure of the success is the speed of the agent. So how you get success is how you respond quickly. So if you got the leads coming in and you're not calling them, then chances are that lead is going to be calling 4 other agents in 4 other companies, right? So whoever is delivering the pickup of the call and the response of the call, chances are they're going to build a relationship with you first, right? I kind of look at it as in, like, if you're walking through the mall, where are you going to go spend your money? On the high ticket item, or where you see the red sign that says sale, 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 sale? You're always going to walk into the store that says sale, 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 sale. So you have to have that mentality that this individual is coming and looking for a deal. But if you don't tell them what the deal is, they're going to go to the next store or the next agent and be buying with them. So we're in charge of how many people come through our store, right? So you have to respond to them immediately. That's one thing Joey and Pavel said is, hey, when that deal comes through, or that link comes through, or that link, or that what do you call it? Agent comes through or client comes through, you got to call right away. So we got used to quick response. Then after that, it's, what are you saying? How are you giving them the message so that they're interested? Are you leaving it open-ended, or are you like almost closing them with your first question? So we were taught through the program that they have is that you have to give them something right away. And on the side of clients, I'll let Tasso speak for that, but for the side of agents, we conduct it to the point where we ask them, hey, are you here for a business opportunity, or are you here for a job? I literally come out and say it. And they respond, actually, I believe this was a business opportunity. Great. My response then after that is, are you capable of working within the state or province that you're in right now? Are you legally able to work? They say what? Yes. So the more times I get them saying yes, then I factor in, great, I will go ahead, you qualify for your interview. This is not a job. I'm not working with everybody. I'm interviewing, I'm sorting. So the system allows you to sort quickly, you build a relationship quickly, you get on a Zoom quickly, and you let them know the business just as quick, because after that, you're saying, great, thank you for coming. This has been an opportunity that we've been wanting to have with you. Now we're going to go on to the next and final meeting. Be prepared to start your business. I let them know you're going into the second phase. You're going to get prepared to start your business. And truth be told, they're already interested, right? So they don't see it as I'm buying. They see it as I'm registering to become a part of Experior. And when they register, guess what they're paying? They're paying their 150, and then they're going through our program. So once that sale is done, that's a sale to me. Now I'm getting them onto what side? The client side, because you can't be a part of something if you're not a part of something, right? So they come through my window, and then I just speed up the process and I pass the ball. Who am I passing the ball to? Our client expert, Tasso. After that, it's a slam dunk. It's literally Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen back in the 90s again. And that's how we do business.
Awesome. That's awesome. And I have a couple points that I want to dig into it, but I want to know your point of view on that. That's on the insurance side, because Myron just gives some really good insights for recruiting in WFG, Experior, or any other recruiting company. You can take a lot of notes from that. But for on the insurance side, for those doing the insurance side, like it's the same principle, right, Tasso? Like speed to lead, first 5 seconds that come out of your mouth. But what is your exact strategy on that?
Yeah, it's very similar, except in the insurance side. I mean, you got to call ASAP, right? Within as soon as that 3 minute passes, where they get that message, I'm getting on the phone right away and I'm calling them. And I figured my first 2 weeks, one training that I saw with Pavel was Joy. He said that it's different. You're calling your warm market leads or medium referrals and calling online cold market leads is not the same. And for me, the first 2 weeks, I was trying to build that too much of a relationship. And it's like, I heard another training from Angelo saying, you just got to get straight to the point. Do you have life insurance? And once I started doing that, I started putting in my own, type of, language for myself. I just started seeing results quicker. And you just have to probe. You have to ask a lot of questions. And sometimes the trainings they're amazing, but you have to figure out and go with your sense, your feelings, right? And I'll give you a perfect example. Literally, lead came in 2 days ago, called it twice, no answer, back to back. Called again this morning, the third time. She picks up the phone and she goes to me, I already got insurance. So I'm like, oh, okay, great, it's not a problem. So what did you get? I didn't just drop it. What did you get? What insurance do you have? How much are you paying? Was that person a broker? Was he in a captive agency? Right? So I got into it right away. No, how's the weather? How was your weekend? People don't care about how's the weather, how's the weekend, right? They want to know, are they getting a good deal? So I could be a broker servicing 25 clients, and you could be a broker servicing 10 in insurance company, sorry. And I'm servicing 25. So obviously I'm going to have more access to possibly a less expensive plan. Guys, she's canceling that and I'm signing her up tomorrow. And it's just because I probed and I insisted professionally. And that's what I think people are losing deals on. It's that extra question, because the amount of leads that we're all getting and those prospects, guys, it's a busload. There's no way we can all close them. It's just doing that extra, and sometimes doing that extra call. You're like, oh, I'm tired. To just do that extra call and do that extra probing, because it's gonna close. It's just a matter of time.
No, that's amazing. I think you nailed it. I hope a lot of people is listening to that, because that's literally what we're trying to push down into everyone. Like in the training, in the new conversion training that we got out, like we put so much emphasis on, like, you don't hang up until you actually overcome at least 3 objections, right? So at least 3. And a lot of people are like, the first objection, it's okay, going down. But I think that's what makes the difference between a lot of between that 10% conversion or that 2% conversion rate, right, on the leads. And I want to dig deeper on right away? Because I know that's sometimes I was speaking to an advisor. He told me, yeah, I'm calling leads right away. Okay, so what's right away? Like an hour or 2 hours? I'm calling them right away. That's not right away, right? So what's right away for you?
Well, me, I wait. I literally wait that first message that sends out to
Three
the
minutes, yeah.
that 3 minutes, and then I'm on it, right? And guys, sometimes they're at work and they're scrolling. Don't feel like, oh my God, they just messaged. They said no to the insurance and they're not answering. It's okay. You just continue that follow up call. Again, it's as somebody posted in the community in that 12 times calling that first step, success rate, success, it goes all the way up to calling them 12 times. Man, if you see our notes between Myron and myself, it's called no answer, call left the message, call no answer, call left the message. It's just that I'm gonna continue until the person tells me stop calling me. Because I can call you on the 15th time. You could have been on your construction vacation holidays and you're gone for 3 weeks. How do I know that? I'm gonna call you till you tell me or message me, stop calling me. And it's just gonna continue that way. And I even got another story I can tell you. A client calls, goes, oh, you know what? I want to get a health and dental for my kids. Got something small for her health and dental. I guess maybe she wanted to feel like what type of service I'm offering. And boom, she goes to me, by the way, I want my insurance plan, call me Friday. So it's always that extra step that even if you get a small plan, don't brush it away, because the little $25 plans times them by 4, 5, 6 people, it's a good plan. It adds up.
Yeah, and I think you really nailed down. So like we're still again on the second part of the formula, right? How, because that's where the game is played. Because most of the time you can combine the second and the third part together, right? So as soon as you call the lead, like how many times have you closed a deal right off the bat from the first call? Probably often, right?
Yeah, most I didn't expect that. I thought it would be the second and the third call at the beginning, but a lot is like when they're hot. Like this lady today, I was like, okay, so are you? Can we start the process? She's like, oh, I'm actually about to step out the door in about 10 minutes. Can you call me tomorrow? So once I get a clean, positive, like, okay, I'm liking this. I'm not saying let's book a meeting. I'm saying, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, let's start the process.
And I've had a lot of comments of advice, oh, like compliance, I need to be careful. I'm not comfortable in going all the way through on the first call on the phone and stuff like that. I like to book a virtual meeting, but that's a double-edged sword, because if you book a virtual meeting in 3, 4, 5 days, then the chances of them not seeing the value of showing up is pretty freaking high, because they have no idea who you are. There's a bad connotation around insurance in general, right? So how do you deal about getting them intriguing, like the importance of the first 5 seconds and going all the way through on the first call while doing everything compliance friendly, if I can say it like that?
Yeah, I mean, I my main focus is compliance, right? My license, and I'm sure everybody's license here is the most important thing. I go through everything. I'll read the advisor disclosure. I'll go through. I have everything ready, so everything's on my tabs. And when I have like my reason why letters and all that is ready. My advisor disclosure is already pre-filled. I have them ready, so I'm just adding and I'm reading. So I'm being very compliant. My needs analysis, I already got it. I got the date of birth when I asked them. As they're talking, I'm always writing notes. I'm probing. Once again, how's your health? How's this? What's your height and weight? You're a non-smoker. I'm getting your address. I'm getting the needs of what you really want. I'm asking you, do you have any children? I'm asking you, do you have a mortgage? So I'm already probing all these, which I'm doing the needs analysis already. The dying method for those who are, and our model understand that. So I already did a proper needs analysis. I already did my disclosures, my reason whys. What's left is just electronically signing everything. So whether you're doing the meeting in 3 times or I'm doing it once, you're going to end up losing deals. You got to go straight and slam it all the way through, because I haven't closed anybody on Zoom meetings. Everything has been on the phone, personally, myself.
That's a big point there. I know, Mandy, you said you got a one call close as well today. So I think that's the common thing. And Myron, on your side on the recruiting, I think it's a bit different, right? It's a bit different because you actually need to know if that person is going to be a good fit for you guys. You don't want to just recruit anybody. I know a lot of people here. I see. I know Audrey has been signing some recruits also lately, but it's a different process. So how does that change, and what is the approach, the similar approach that Tasso is doing, but on the recruiting side?
Yeah, right. No, so me and Tasso are always in communication just to make sure we're kind of complementing each other in what we do and how we do it, which is really, the most important part of being about a team or a joint force. So when it comes to recruiting, you're actually getting a 2-for-1 deal, right? It's not just
Yeah.
a client, it's actually a 2-for-1, which turns into a pipeline over the referral system that we have within our builders model. So this is where it gets really good, where, they might come on board, get to know you. Here you could spend some time, build a rapport, understand the reason why, and all of that stuff. And if they do qualify, in my opinion, for me to take more time to get them through the pipeline, then I know for sure they're going to be a client. There's no question about it, because you can't work for BMW driving a Ford. You know what I mean? You got
Yeah.
to be a part of the service. So at the end of the day, due to that one nature, you got a 2-for-1 deal. You got a recruit and a client. But the other thing is, if you're doing a good job building rapport, that client, or that agent has to go through our system, which is what? Qualify for their contract as well as get licensed. So we take them through what we call the field training. So now they've opened up their market of where we're seeing 5, maybe 10 other clients, because they're learning the lingo as well as studying for their license at the same time. But who's writing that business? We are.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we've done more with a client than just get them as a client. They became a recruit who wanted to understand the lingo, open up their market to us, and then we go down the pipeline with them, qualifying them for their pre-approved contract level before licensing. So once they get licensed, they know the lingo, they know everything we do, and guess what? They're going to want to duplicate our efforts, which is what? Understand the online service as well as go through their warm market service. So it becomes very sticky using this platform that Joey and Pavel put together.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I want to also touch on because I think if we recap the main points why you guys have had that success, first is speed to lead. You guys are just savages. When the lead come in, call them right away, right? That's number one thing. And right away means 3 minutes, right? 3 to 5 minutes, big maximum, because you need to say to yourself that that person probably maybe answered other forms, right? And if they're in a need right now, like I think you did a really nice analogy that it's your store, right? You got to see it as it's your store. If someone would go in your store, would you wait 10 minutes, an hour before going to speak to them and ask them what t-shirt they want or what product they want? Probably not, because they're going to leave, right? So when they come in, treat it as your store, right? Make sure you serve that client ASAP. Number one. And number two is the follow-up game. And I think that's it's a big thing a lot of people underestimate. Like, I don't want to call them 15 times to 20 times if they have to. But Tasso did a really good point there, that you don't know if they're on a 3-week vacation and they're not going to answer. And then you call them back on the 3rd, 4th week. And there you go. You have a sell, right? So until they say no, you have nothing to lose but calling them. And I think that's why there's a big failure rate in the industry in general, right?
Yeah.
That's our big vision, why we want to stop that failure rate and implement the systems in place to do so. And the third factor was, and I think that's probably the most important, was the first 5 seconds, like the first words that comes out of your mouth, the tone that you use when you call the lead. Because I'm 100% sure that, for example, Tasso, you get a lead, and you say the same thing as another person, for example, that say the same thing, but the different tone or whatever, then one person can say, oh, the leads are shit, doesn't work, not qualified, but you can close them right off the bat, right? So what is the main difference, and how can someone work and master their first 5 seconds? And should they iterate some stuff? Like, what's the best framework to follow? Because this is so important, the first words that you're saying when you first call a lead.
Of course, of course. I mean, I believe is your mindset, right? So when you're ready to do calls, just it's find a way to get excited, right? Find a way what's up. You're getting ready to do calls. You didn't just wake up, didn't brush your teeth, didn't wash your face, which I'm not saying you guys are not doing that, but you know what I mean? Like, you got to be ready for something, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, we see people just get overly excited. I'm typically not a person that's overly excited, right? I'm very in the middle. And when someone sees me super excited, the people that know me, it's going to seem very weird, right? Because I'm not that type of person. So on the phone, just be you, but just have the confidence, have more. I believe the mindset will kick in and give you that type of confidence or tone of voice of so the other person could hear it. So, if you're doing 10 calls and the 10 calls are no, or I'm not interested, I never filled out this form. Well, don't let it demotivate you. Just look at it as it's next, right? You're gonna have another 400 something leads within the next 60 days, or it depends how much ads you're spending. So you just got to keep on going to the next thing and focusing on following the training, and it will just work. It will just work 100%.
That's good. And quickly, also, I think a big part of it that's underestimated is when you close a deal, asking for referrals, right off the bat. Is that something you do? And if so, what's your approach to that, and how is that helping you?
I don't know about me. It's crazy. I've signed in my first couple of deals. I signed up the spouse, and I said, "Well, what about your other spouse? I mean, your spouse. What's happened? Like, are they covered? Like, I know we protected you for them
Yeah.
and your kids, but what about your spouse?" They're like, "Oh yeah, really?" And boom, I got the phone. Is he there? I don't ask, "Oh, can I call you tomorrow? Is your spouse there?"
Yeah.
I'm asking yes or no questions, not open-ended questions. So the one who is in control of the conversation, well, I'm always leading them to where I want them to come, right? I'm not doing it maliciously or anything bad. It's just I'm controlling the conversation. Do you have children? Do you have, yeah, I have children. Do you have kids? Great. Do you have their phone numbers? No, I will give them a call. Well, no, it's okay. Maybe I can give them a call, explain them, because I don't want them hearing something different from you rather than from myself. I can give them the whole, idea and the big spectrum of everything, right? And I asked them, what's the number? Is it 514-438-647? I'm already asking the number, throwing out the 3-digit area code. So when I'm saying 647, Mandy's gonna say, okay, 332-1111, right? They're gonna end up giving out the number. So again, it's control of the conversation and asking. The one who asks is gonna receive.
I think a recurring theme that I keep hearing is just speed, right? Money loves speed, and you need to be in a rush. You need to treat your time as such, right? Because if you're always waiting, oh, let's meet tomorrow, right? Let's meet after tomorrow. I think Evangelos had a really good point on that. He told a story about one of his client that I think he got a car accident or whatever and died. So it was a pretty deep story, but he said look, and I felt bad because it was my job to insure that person. And I didn't, right? Because I waited, because I didn't do my job and protected him at that moment and insisted while he was not ready to be insist on, right? So that's something that I think you do really well, is you insist on doing everything right now, if possible, by staying professional. I think that's an art that you're not going to master right away, but as you have some reps under the bar, that's when you're gonna succeed. So I think that's a very, very good point there. Yeah.
The power now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. So another point also I want to add is in terms of the audience. I know you guys, especially on the insurance side, is pretty much all seniors, right?
For us, we started with the seniors, so we're gonna looking to explore others as well. But yeah, for us, it's been all this success the last 60 days or so has been all with seniors.
Cool. And is there anything that, for example, if someone right now is maybe struggling with the seniors and are doing only with moms and dads, why do you think it would be, if you would have to guess? And what are you doing differently, for example, with seniors, because it's a different market, right? They're probably not, especially not used to Zoom and stuff like that, signing documents, all those little stuff. How do you deal with seniors, for example?
Joey, it's crazy. If everybody here did the same ad as we're all doing, at the end we're all going to get the same leads. I'm not getting special leads different than you, or you're getting special leads different than me. It's just it's that consistent thing of doing things now, right? And avoiding, and not avoiding, letting go the negatives, right? I'm not interested, let it go. It's mindset. It's mindset over everything. And really the biggest difference would be, I mean, I can give you again another story. I stayed an hour on a call helping the guy because he had no idea how to do DocuSign to get the document signed. It took me an hour to tell him, go up, take a right, click that button. It's the colorful button, go down slowly, slowly. It took me an hour. Like, it's, guys, it's crazy. But I was gonna get it done no matter what. But I kept on reassuring him that he was getting frustrated. But I said, don't worry, it's normal. Don't push them. Don't make it look like you're selling them, which at the end we're all selling something, but it's that patience, it's the time, it's the consistent, it's doing that little things that makes you money, and it's the big thing, and they're gonna respect that. And trust me, you can call them back, they're gonna remember you, that you spend 1 hour with them, and you'll get referrals. And that's how I see it that way. And it's gonna pay off some way, somehow. It's just patience.
That's very good. That's very good. No, I think that's very golden nuggets that you're giving there, and I really appreciate that. So I got a two final questions, and then we're gonna go with we've got a couple of questions in the chat, so it's gonna be nice. But I want to ask a question. I want both of you to answer. What has been the one thing, right, that has been solved for you guys in this, for example, in this partnership, that has made everything easier or even unnecessary? Okay, so what is the number one problem that this partnership or this system solved that has made everything else in the business easier or even unnecessary at some point?
I'll start. Basically, for me, what has made it easier is just having a system, like a built-in routine that is like, you wake up, you do your morning routine, and then boom, you hit the phone, you hit the calls, you check your system, where what do we have to book for today, because you're always going to be booked every single day. There's not a day that is off, but you get to control that. That's the other thing.
Exactly.
Right. I'm still married. I still have 3 kids. I still have a mortgage. Like, I get to control my day, but my day is full. I love having a full day. There's times before this system where I didn't have a full day, and then you'd be like stressing, oh my gosh, I can't do this for too long, right? So this partnership for Fondako Media has allowed us to stay full. We're hungry, but we're never out of food, is what I'm trying to say. There's always leads coming in. There's always things that we can put our teeth into, work, mold, develop, train, coach, call. It's always full. When your fridge is full, you're not going to starve.
That's amazing. And Tasso, that's going to be hard to beat.
No, I agree 100%. I can't even say more than that.
That's good. No, that's good. I think that's a very good answer there. And this the last question, I think, and then we're going to go to the Q&A. But I'm curious to know, just to help, maybe if there's some people here that have been here for maybe like a couple of weeks or a month and having had their first sell, right? They got a lot of leads. They're doing what you guys are saying. What would you say what would be the most, like, the first 3 things you would evaluate in yourself right now? If you've been in the system for 2, 3, 4 weeks and you haven't had the results with the same leads that you have right now, the same system, what would be the main 3 things that you would self-evaluate and work on in order to get that first win ASAP? Because I'm sure when you have that first win, that's when they all come in. I know you were lucky. I mean, not lucky or not, whatever, but you got in the first 3 days, you got your first win, right? But then it took a while before you start getting back in the groove. But let's say someone has been here for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, haven't had their first win yet. What would you say to them? Like, what's the main 3 things they need to look out and improve?
Listen, our first win was a win in 3 days, and it was a chargeback. So
exactly.
Do you rather have no win and then get a win and get a chargeback? I mean, at the end of the day, it's following the training, right? It's those trainings. It's very important to get back to the person who is that one-on-one with you and say, okay, for me, it's being coachable. What do I need to do different? maybe that person could hear you on a recorded call, how you're speaking. Because sometimes, we're doing public speaking, you think you sound good, or you seem good, but when you look yourself in the mirror or in the video, you're like, oh wow, why did I move like that, right? And I would say is go back to the training, because that's what I felt is the first 2 weeks. This was not like war market leads. So I needed to tweak that very, very quickly. And again, everybody's different. Maybe some are weaker in that sense, and you just have to sharpen the axe and get back to what they know, the trainers, the professionals, the experts, so you can just copy and mimic that in practice. Have it. I had printed out the documents that were the scripts when Pavel was doing in the training, the 1.0, and I had them on the side, and I was literally reading to get used to it, right? And then I kind of put it on, and I got used to it, and from there it was just history, right?
Yeah, I think you nailed it there. I think it's not treating that system like war market. The reason why you're not scaling with war market is because it's not scalable, right? So there's nothing more scalable than this, literally. But there's the little downside, which is not that much of a downside because you can fix it. It's not the same approach. So you might have to change your sales approach. So as long as you're open to changing your sales approach, go through the trainings, watch those success interviews, watch people that are doing it and killing it, are taking that mindset and applying that, that's when you're going to see the exponential results. And if you crack the code, like right now, we cracked the code for you guys. We know that, okay, now we know that if you want to do that, those results you did in the last 60 days in a month, then we know that we need to have that input in the system. So we're going to sit down together, make a game plan, and achieve it. And I know that we can achieve it because it's a scalable model, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's good. Before going on the Q&A, do you have any closing sentence for any value that you can provide for anyone here, or any last thoughts?
I'll say this: you need to want it. If you don't want it, don't waste your time here, because time is money, and if you're going to spend the money to be here, don't waste your time by not doing what you need to do. And the second thing, you heard Tasso say it like 100 times: mindset. If you're not set in your mind to win, then you're just blowing wind out your mouth, to be quite honest with you. You're not saying anything that's going to make the other person on the other side of the call feel confident to work with you. You have to have that mindset that you know what you're doing and you're here to service that person. So when they hear you on the phone for the first 30 seconds, they feel and know that they're talking to a true professional. But it comes from your mind. And Tasso immutes that when he's talking to clients, and I duplicate that when I'm doing an interview for someone I choose to onboard. I don't have to, but I choose to if I like who they are, and I think they carry that character of what we're looking for here in our system. So your confidence has to come through the phone, and they have to feel it, not hear it. They have to feel it.
Yeah, because I think they don't buy the product necessarily. They buy you, right?
Yeah.
They need to buy you first and then the product, right? So no, that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Let's go ahead in the Q&A and see if we can wrap it up there. Nesta, we're the first one to ask, how many times in a day do you call back a lead that did not answer the first time? So I imagine in the same day. And also, when do you leave a message?
Is this for recruit or?
Is that for recruit or insurance, Nesta?
Insurance.
Insurance.
Insurance. I'm calling them as soon as I call them. With first 3 minutes, they don't pick up. I'm leaving a voicemail 100%. With my voice, my name, call me, this is my number, you did a request on this day. It depends when it came in, right? So if it came in, for example, in the morning and it's 3 minutes in, I'm calling them, leaving a message. I'm calling again from another number, which is my cell phone number at the end of the day. So I'm always timing it, right? So the next day that I know I called him in the morning and the afternoon or evening, whatever, then I switch it around. I'll do in the afternoon and late evening, or early morning or early afternoon. I'm always going to be moving around the time. So I'm going to catch them one day or another within the next couple of days.
That's good. That's good. And maybe can you answer on the recruiting side, Myron?
Yeah, definitely. So the recruiting side is a little different because we also have, I don't know if Joey had mentioned this, but we also have the the AI system built into what we do here. So sometimes you can go ahead and call a lead right away as it comes in, or you could allow the AI to kind of warm the market, warm the conversation, and then follow up with a call afterwards. So it really depends on your feel. I can't give you a direct approach of what you want to do when it comes to the recruiting side. The client side is now, don't even think. Call, ring, call, answer right away. The recruiting side, you know, they're looking to book an interview. That's for sure. So sometimes when they fill it out, they don't necessarily want you to call right away. They might just be feeling you out. So sometimes I want to save my time and I allow the AI to kick in and start the communication with me or for me. However, I will say this, in the CRM system that's designed here, you still have to call those people that may not have responded to the AI. Because who knows why they didn't respond? I don't know. But like Tasso said, maybe they're on vacation. Maybe they're gone for 3 weeks. It's not my business to know why they're not there. It's my business to call them anyway. So you have those options when it comes to recruiting, but you still call every single one of those leads no matter what.
Thank you.
Yep, that's good. Thank you for that. So, Mandy, advisor disclosure, when do you read it to them? I've just been getting them to sign it after they sign the policy. So what is your approach on that, on the advisor disclosure?
Advisor disclosure, I kind of do that. I don't do that before quoting or right after quoting or anything like that, because I could be like, whoa, like what's all this? I kind of get their 1 foot in, get their feet wet a bit, attract them, right, and get them interested. And once I get the clean, starting the application, I'm fully going through the disclosure and obviously, I will have the reason why letter. I'm not sure if you guys do that. Some companies, some MGAs do it, some not. I'll have the reason why letter already pre-filled and ready when the application is done, sending all the documents for electronic signing done completely and ready to go. So I kind of have a system where there's no lag. It's just instant spits out the documents.
That's good. That's good. Perfect. And when do you say, what do you say when you call a referral?
From the lead that you're talking about now?
Yeah, I imagine from the lead, right, Mandy?
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, do you say, I'm a friend of your dad's, or, how do you introduce yourself?
Well, if it's from a lead from that came in, obviously from our system, I'm just gonna explain exactly who I met, right? So for example, if I signed up Myron and Myron referred Mandy, I'm just gonna say, hi Mandy, how are you? I just recently had a great interview and meeting with Myron, and he requested some information and wanting information about a life insurance quote, and we went through an analysis and we got him set up for him and his family, and I asked him if he knew a handful of people he can refer me to, and you're the first person that he referred me to, and I'm giving you a call. Do you have life insurance, Mandy? So just get straight to the point. Just do a little intro, not too big, not too small, just to get a feel of, oh, okay, Myron, I know him. Myron spoke to Tasso. There's a relationship I trust because I know Myron, and I go straight to, do you have life insurance? I just switch it up.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep, it's very good. And Audrey's asking, with seniors, has it mainly been whole life or final expense?
A lot of final expense. The seniors, a lot. Gotta be super patient with them, but they're serious about it because they don't have it and they want it. So I kind of like that sense. And a lot of them is non-medical. I like that too because I don't have to wait for APSs or doctor's notes or anything like that. So I go through the questionnaire. But I mean, they haven't had it all their life, and they know they want it. So they're already like a pre-close already to begin with. It's just that you got to sort. That's pretty much it.
That's very good. That's very good. And I think Mandy said it there, like patience with seniors is patience, right? So you got to help them for an hour. If that hour is going to give you $1,000, you better believe you're going to take that hour, right? So whatever it takes. So that's very good. And Audrey asked for recruiting. If you're calling them within 3 minutes, I think you answered that earlier. I think ideally yes, but if not, you got the AI that's going to nurture them for you. So at least you're good. But I think the quicker the better, right?
Yeah.
I think that's always the case. Yeah. And now for recruits, are you doing a phone call first, then Zoom later? So what's your approach in phone call Zoom situation with recruits?
Again, you kind of get a feel for what's coming into your recruiting pipeline. So according to the conversation or no conversation, you're going to call them first. I like the fact that I could call them first, pre-qualify them, and then set up, if necessary, the Zoom interview, right? Because within our market, let's say Canada here, you might have individuals who may not have their permit to work, but they came across this ad because it's a very attractive ad. So I might ask them, hey, some pre-qualified questions. Are you able to work in Canada? Are you currently working? I want to know if I'm looking at a potential client too. Like if we get you on board and you pay your 150, can you therefore be a client? At the same time, do you have the funds to open a file with us so that we could give you the services that you require? So I pre-qualify them, and then I get into the interview and I let them know, hopefully you will qualify for the second interview. We'll see after we get through this presentation. And my last two questions to qualify them for the second interview are very simple. Have you ever had a bankruptcy? Have you ever had a criminal record? And according to how they respond to that is whether I say congratulations or I'm sorry, not at this time. Please come back and maybe we can have time for you at another date. That's it.
That's good. That's good. Does that help? Yep. Awesome. Perfect. And I got another question there from Ellen. What's your marketing budget to generate the volume of leads? So I can answer to that. So because I know it's $50 per day, right? That 50 or 40?
I think we're at 20 recruits and 40 insurance, I believe.
Yeah, so that's 60 per day. But the thing I can say is that they have extremely low cost per lead. They have like $5 cost per lead average. Okay. And the main reason that didn't happen day one, right? The main reason is that you guys came to at least like 2 to 3 coaching calls every week for the first like month, right?
Easily.
And
yeah.
So that's the main key point. Like come to my calls, especially the ads and systems, because I remember when you guys were started, I was always by myself, like going in your reporting, making sure I can delete some, add some stuff like that, and giving you the tips. So that's how you can get to. That's why we also scale to $60 a day. Because if you're at $30 a lead, then we're not going to scale to 60. You're going to get 2 leads a day. So now at 4, he's getting like almost 15 leads a day, right?
Yeah.
So it always depends. So come to those Wednesdays and Friday coaching calls for the ads if that's the main issue, and I'll help you with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Mandy, for final expenses, are you guys using CPP mostly? I imagine yes. Or you have a different carrier you prefer?
Well, we have several. We have IA, CPP. We have so many guaranteed issue, but the CPP is one of the most competitive in premiums. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I use CPP and IA as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good tip that Sylvain gave, that already have like your 2 to 3 go-tos that you're super quick. You know that they're going to accept them, or you know that they're going to refuse them. And that's how like it simplifies the process by a lot, right? In terms of products using. Yeah, good. And the last question here before we go, a last question from Ellen. For recruits, how do you handle them when they don't want to give out their war market before license?
Right. I let them know this is part of the process. Straight up, I say, if you're not here to be coachable and follow the process, then it's very hard to train you to become what you need to become. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, it's part of the process. You don't get a job somewhere and say, I'm not going to do that part of the job. No, this is what you do. Yeah. Very simple, So when they come on, we go through the launch system. I say, here's the list of the things that we're going to do, and we're going to go down it like bite size. We're going to do parts of it together. And then by the time they send their leads out or their warm market out, therefore, we're going to be doing those coaching calls together. We're going to do everything together. So they're going to be very comfortable, because in order for them to, number one, know the words, know the lingo, they have to have a market to practice with. Some of them might say, I want to get leads. Okay, well, how can you get leads if you haven't even done your own warm market? Yeah. Like, that makes no sense. You don't open up a pizza shop and say, no, mom, you can't come to my store. You're going to have your parents and your whole family come to the store before you say, okay, grand opening to everybody else. It's the same thing. Again, your approach is your mindset. So if someone's saying, no, I don't want to do that, you say, I don't understand. That's what we do here. Did you not understand the process, or did I like onboard you by mistake? This is what we do. And then you stay quiet and let them answer, because you're going to save yourself time if they quit. I tell you now, if they quit, you're doing yourself a favor. Don't be embarrassed to let someone go, because they're saving you time. You have a lot of leads here, guys. When your fridge is full, you're not looking for the rotten apple. You're throwing it away and getting the fresh apple.
That's cool. That's abundance mindset in anything, right? And even more in that. And just lastly, the objection that Audrey said, because I imagine you must have that a lot. I don't have anyone. I don't know anyone in my warm market. How do you answer to that?
From a recruiting aspect,
Yeah,
it's easy. Well, basically, I say, well, where do you live right now? They probably say Canada. How long have you lived here? Oh, maybe 3 months, 2 months, if that, right? Like, I'm going ridiculous. Okay, how did you get to that apartment? Oh, well, my landlord. Who's your landlord? What's his number? What's his name? You can't tell me you flew here.
and know anyone.
Did you drive here? Did someone sponsor you here? It's impossible to not know anybody.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what you have to get to, that point of confidence, to make the other person really feel like, whoa, that was a dumb thing I just said. I don't know anyone. Obviously, that doesn't make sense. I do my laundry at the corner store right there. The guy says hi to me every single day. You have to be the person, like Tasso said, in control of the conversation. Those asking the question is actually giving direction.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, so let's close it off here. Well, guys, this was a very, very insane call that you did there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna put the recording in the course. Hope you're gonna rewatch that, because that's insane value, and very excited to meet you guys again, maybe in 2 months, and see the exponential effect that you guys are at right now, and become leaders in this community. So very excited to have you guys on, and it's just the beginning of something amazingly great for you and for everyone here. So once again, thank you. Keep pushing, guys. Keep contributing, and show up to the training, show up to the coaching, and you're gonna get those results. So super excited to have everyone here. Thank you so much, Tasso and Myron, and have an amazing day, everyone.
Thank you, Joey and Pavel. Thank you guys for everything.
Thank you.